Chris Gouser here with
Matt Howell. And this week on the first run, we catch the latest oh-so-scary dinosaur fest with Jurassic World Rebirth. Then, we test the limits of my ability to enjoy cringe comedy with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd in Friendship. As always, we'll give you the big releases on physical media, the Viper video and streaming picks of the week. Then we move on to the Willenium bracket, the 2000's, and our horror movie contest. So it's a jam-packed show. So why don't you give us a little bit of Jurassic World Rebirth to start us off, Chris?
You got it, buddy.
Mr. Work here didn't tell us everything that we need to know.
Look, this island was a laboratory of sorts. They conducted experimental work here.
What kind of experiments?
Crossbreeding of species, engineered entertainments, they call them.
Genetically altered freaks?
Any that were malformed or just too damn hard for anybody to look at, they left them here.
Well, that's inhuman. Why not just euthanize them?
The average cost of a created species is $72 million. What would you do? Kill it and have to tell your bank, or just carry it forward under R&D?
What would I do with mutant dinosaurs from an accounting perspective? Is that really the question?
That's good stuff. Jurassic World Rebirth, Matt. David Koepp returns. He wrote the first two films, you know.
I didn't know that.
And I would probably say the only two that I've ever really enjoyed, and even then, probably the first one is the one I only really ever truly enjoyed. But he's back to right the ship, Matt, after the Jurassic World films.
Did he?
So,
do you think he righted that ship, Chris?
well, I guess, yeah. So let's talk about what's happening here. So we open up 2010, 5 years before the incident in Jurassic World. And what happens, actually, as you heard in that clip, is that they're making kind of mutated dinosaurs. They're splicing genes, mixing them together, kind of like a labradoodle, but, you know, dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And things go horribly wrong, and one called Distortus Rex, which is this rancor-ass-looking dinosaur, escapes, slaughters a bunch of people, and they abandon the facility. Fast forward to 17 years later, it's 2027, so we are in the future here, Matt, just so you know. And remember, too, at the end of Jurassic World, this is important because it ends up not mattering, is that now we are at one in a coexisting world with the dinosaurs. Except what we decide to do in this film is, within the first 20 minutes, just point out that that isn't really the case anymore. They're all dying. And they only exist in this area kind of on the equator because that's where it's fertile enough, the oxygen is strong enough, it's warm enough, blah, blah, blah. So we undo everything that we did in the prior three films, which I guess I don't really care, and maybe I'm even happy about. And a team is put together with a particular set of skills that need to go to this equatorial dinosaur habitat haven to claim some of their blood and DNA because they think they're going to be able to basically cure cancer with it. So this small team goes in to try and do that, and of course, all the horrors they encounter once they enter Jurassic World on an island on the equator.
The rebirth of the Jurassic World, if you will.
Correct. Yes, thank you.
And they're there to cure heart disease. So let's
Heart
let's
disease,
get it
not
right.
cancer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're right.
It's always cancer. This time, heart disease is getting a little love.
Yeah, I was thinking of that issue, that comic with Spider-Man and the lizard. It's like, with all that technology, you could cure cancer. And he goes, yeah, the lizard, not the vulture.
Mm-hmm.
Vulture or a lizard? It's a the pterodactyl one.
Oh, that would have been Vulture, yeah.
Well, no, because Vulture's just a guy, though.
Yeah, he's just a guy, but lizard's like a dinosaur, yeah, like he's a scientist that regrew his arm.
There's a comic where it says, Spidey says to him, you could cure cancer with this. And he goes, yeah, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into, like, dinosaurs or something. Anyway, yeah, sorry, heart disease, thank you. Which, you can reverse on a vegan diet.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Or you could just get some dinosaur blood. I know which way I would go.
So that's that, Matt.
Yeah.
Any questions for me, or you good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. That's a pretty thorough explanation of what this movie is air quotes about. I mean, did we waste our time? Is it worth it? Like, what do you think?
I guess it depends on how you want to define that. So this film is directed by Gareth Edwards, who did his first debut was the aptly and simply titled Monsters. And then they brought him in for the Godzilla reboot, which, independent of the interpersonal relationships in that film with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who I still hope gets cast as James Bond, even though there's rumors it's going to be Tom Holland, and I will freak the fuck out if that happens. But the monster stuff with that Godzilla movie is great. He also did Rogue One, a Star Wars story, possibly the best out of all the new reboot kind of Star Wars, discounting or not including Andor. He did direct The Creator, which we were lukewarm about, but probably mostly because of the charisma vacuum that is Washington in that film, unfortunately. And now he's here with Jurassic Rebirth. Now, a couple things. I think this is a better written film than almost everything since those first two films, which makes sense. Same writer. I get that. Fine. But we also, thankfully, don't have to deal with Chris Pratt's charming yet almost entirely vacant performance. I'm very happy that I don't have to contend with that for 3 films anymore. I think ScarJo is a much more engaging actress. Mahershala Ali, let me just say, the interpersonal human elements, the tragedy, the relationships, the family drama, all this stuff is better in this. It's not good, but it's better than what we've been seeing in these Jurassic Park films. And Kep does something interesting. He splits us up into 2 groups. So he has this family who their ship sinks and they get rescued by Ali and the crew. And they have to go to the island to get their genetics, blood type stuff. Remember, to cure heart disease, not cancer. And the family, they get split up. So now we have 2 parallel adventures. Of course, eventually we do meet back up. But we have the family, which then basically allows Kep and Edwards to make 2 films at the same time, where we get to have our rollicking action adventure film as well as a kind of a haunted house movie all at the same time. And eventually these 2 parallel lines do kind of join up. And also, too, he's able to put us, the viewer, in the seat of the family, right? We're basically kind of the family, and then we're watching then the professionals do their dirty work there. And I think it mostly works there. For me, it was a perfectly acceptable franchise sequel, and I mean that generally. Like a sequel to a franchise, I think it's fine. Probably the 3rd best in the series, though exactly, again, not very high praise. But another weird miss for me entirely were the dinosaur designs, the mutated dinosaurs. It just didn't really work with me at all. Now, I've thrown a lot at you, Matt. What do you think so far?
So I would have to disagree with you. I didn't think Chris Pratt was good by any means in any of those films, or Bryce Dallas Howard was particularly riveting either. I feel like ScarJo is like phoning this in. Like she has, no emotion, no presence. Like she's just kind of like this blank slate. And I was not impressed with her performance at all. And not to say that,
well, I'm not saying, Oscar noms, here we come, not even a People's Choice Award. I'm just saying comparatively to what we've experienced. And I don't even know if I just find her a more engaging actor than I do Pratt, but that's...
And that's fine. I mean, I would agree with you that she's a more engaging actor than Pratt, but I would say, her and Mahershala Ali, since we know what they can do, I would have expected maybe a little bit more of them from them, and they're definitely phoning it in here. So that didn't do the film any favors. Ultimately, it has some neat sequences in it, right? It's got some scary-ish, suspenseful set pieces, right? But overall, this movie, I mean, for me, commits the cardinal sin. It's just kind of boring, right? It's just, it's a bunch of beats that we've seen before. Nothing really new. A new contrivance to go deal with dinosaurs and man's hubris and how they all get their comeuppance and all this stuff. It actually seemed more to me, more than anything, like a King Kong movie. And they're like prowling around on Skull Island somewhere and they're interacting with the wildlife, right? And I honestly, I tried to get on board with this. I tried to enjoy it. And like I said, there are beats of it that are okay, but I don't know. I mean, overall, I thought it was just kind of dull.
I don't think I can really argue with you. It's I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It just kind of exists. And again, what were your thoughts on the mutant dinosaur designs? Like, I don't know, the mutant raptors look just silly. And I'm not asking them to be like accurate where they have like feathers and stuff, which I believe is actually what they're supposed to do, is actually have feathers on them. But I'm not asking for that, but just something really interesting and terrifying. In fact, the stuff that looked the scariest and most interesting were the ones we saw only glimpses of that were still in the tubes, right? That had been like preserved. And then the big baddie is the Distortus Rex. Looks like a cross between Alien and a Rancor, particularly maybe even the alien from Romulus. And Edwards even said that when they went to design that they leaned heavily on Giger, Alien, and then the Rancor. And it does look like a Rancor, at least to me. And it's distorted and kind of ugly looking, but like at least it's not silly, I think, like the Raptor is. But regardless, none of the mutant dinosaur designs I found particularly good or fun or scary. I was actually kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Distortus Rex, I think all of the kind of inspirations that you pointed out are true, but it also, to me, it kind of looked like kind of an aping of the Cloverfield monster, right? With its its multiple legs and arms and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's the risk you run, right? I mean, if you could take a swing at it and you can make some really cool, iconic monster designs, and if they manage to pull that off, maybe this would have had a lasting memory, at least for that, but it just doesn't work really. I'm with you. I think a lot of the mutant dinosaur designs are just silly.
Yeah, and I think this is supposed to be the beginning of a new trilogy, and Spielberg supposedly was more heavily involved in this one. Great. I don't know. For me, there wasn't anything glaringly obvious that sets up a sequel, so it is thankfully well self-contained. But I mean, I'm not at a point now where I want this franchise to end like I was after Dominion. So I'm still a sucker for dinosaurs. I guess there's a part in that's always going to be like a 10-year-old boy, I guess. And let me tell you too, my theater was packed, Matt. This thing cost 180 bills to make. It pulled in 334.
Wow, well that's good. That's something, I guess.
So we are not done with the Jurassic World franchise at all. So I guess you got that going for you there,
right,
Matt? It's just, you know what? I just walked out thinking, well, it's not terrible. Which is a step up from the last trilogy of films, man. I'm sitting at Rebirth at a C+.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give it something just straight middle of the road, because I think that's basically what it is. I'm gonna give it a C.
There you go. If you had a chance to see Jurassic World Rebirth, it is currently in theaters. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Okay, Matt, let's keep going then. It's been a few minutes to talk about what's coming up on physical media this upcoming Tuesday. I have already blanked on what my clip is for here. Oh, now I remember. All right, it's a Steelbook release of a film that's already available in 4K. So if you're a Steelbook head, then I guess this one's for you, buddy.
Hit the gas, Murphy.
The posted limit is 35. We should set an example, Anne. Your hair looks lovely that way.
It's OCP. They did something to you.
I'm fine. Isn't the moon wonderful tonight?
It's still daytime.
It's the thought that counts.
That, of course, is a clip from RoboCop 2 being released by Shot Factory with a Steelbook in 4K. It is already available in 4K from them, though, so if you don't want it to steal, you can just grab it now. All right, Matt, let's count them down. Number five.
Number 5?
I'm going to go with The Surfer from Lionsgate Limited. When a man returns to his beachside hometown in Australia, he is humiliated in front of his teenage son by a local group of surfers, Matt, who claim ownership over the secluded beach of his childhood. This is the latest Nick Cage joint. I was burned by The Beach Bum. I have this weird aversion now to surf movies because of that, because I hated that film so much. Though I did get into a little bit. I was listening to the Beach Boys after Brian Wilson died. but still. Yeah, The Surfer. All right, good. What's next after 5?
4!
Arrow is releasing Crumb Catcher. A newlywed couple is held captive in a remote lake house by a maniacally optimistic inventor and his sour wife, who are desperate to finance his dream project with a half-baked blackmail plot. Includes a brand new audio commentary, 38-minute behind-the-scenes video, a short film as well by the director called The Egg and the Hatchet, and another one called Camp Out. I'm not familiar with Crumb Catcher. I feel like I've heard like vague things about it, but I don't know. But yeah, it's getting a big enough release, so we thought we'd mention it. Next.
Get 3 coffins ready.
Huh?
Vestron is putting out Ghoulies 3, Go to Collect. A college teacher brings the little creatures back to his campus, where they proceed to terrorize the faculty and students. Matt, did you ever watch any of the Ghoulies films? I can't think I've ever seen any one of them from start to finish.
Yeah, I've seen at least the first one, but I would be hard-pressed to describe what happened. I mean, it's really just that iconic cover of the little green guy coming out of the toilet.
Yeah, that's basically my entire experience with them.
I have 2 words. Perfect love and perfect trust.
Lionsgate Limited is also releasing Frailty, the Bill Paxton demon possession maybe film. It's actually pretty good. Brand new 4K restoration of that one, and a bunch of making of features, including some audio commentaries and deleted scenes. So, you a fan of Frailty, Matt?
Yeah, I think it's a good little B movie that I think people should check out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, your numero uno, as they say in I think it's Australia.
There can be only one.
Wallace and Gromit, the complete cracking collection. At 4K, you get A Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, A Close Shave, A Matter of Loaf and Death. All restored masters in 4K with restored audio as well as audio commentaries. Also includes a Blu-ray of those and a third Blu-ray, which includes some interviews, making of featurettes, as well as The Curse of the Were-Rabbit and more. Are you a Wallace and Gromit fan, Matt?
No, actually, I've never seen any of them.
Neither have I. I know they're really popular with a bunch of people, but I have yet to experience them. 4K releases, Shane being released by Kino Lorber, brand new 4K restoration of that one, as well as a new commentary. Craig Turner is putting out The Adventures of Antoine Danal, includes a set of The 400 Blows, Stolen Kisses, Bed and Board, and Love on the Run, as well as short subject Antoine and Colette. You get brand new 4K restorations of all of those, as well as Le Maston and 2 audio commentaries, some archival ones, and more. Shout Factory is also putting out Battle Beyond the Stars, the Corman space epic, and being released in 4K from a brand new scan of the camera negative, and 2 new interviews and a documentary included on that one. And then Fury, Matt, is being released as a steelbook as well. This is the one with the Brad Pitt tank movie that is... I don't really get the affection for it. I've never found it to be that good, but some people really like it. So, your Viper video pick of the week, I'm going to go with Destroy All Neighbors. Is that the right one? I feel like I got the wrong one up. Oh, no, that's for next week. That's right. Destroy All Neighbors. William Brown, a neurotic, self-absorbed musician determined to finish his prog rock magnum opus, faces a creative roadblock in the form of a noisy and grotesque neighbor named Vlad. Finally working up the nerve to demand that Vlad keep it down, William inadvertently decapitates him. Well, that'll happen. But while attempting to cover up the murder, William's accidental reign of terror causes victims to pile up and become undead corpses who torment and create more bloody detours on his road to prog rock Valhalla. Matt, what should we be streaming this week?
So, in honor of our second film that we're going to discuss this week, I'm going to recommend a film that's in the same vein that is... well worth your time. The Banshees of Inisherin is available on FX now, or for free, or Fubo. Those are kind of weird streaming services, but you can go out there and find it.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't watched it since it came out. Man, that was a... Keogh's performance in that is absolutely, devastating, man. It's a good pick. All right, Matt, let's keep rolling then and spend a few minutes and talk about the cringiest cringe comedy I may have ever seen, Friendship.
Look, I know my punishment. I messed up. I'm a bad boy. I'm sorry. What did I do? What did I do? I'm such a bad boy. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I gotta turn those into a drop, at least one of them. That is a clip from Friendship. What is it all about, Matt?
Oh boy. So, Craig, played by Tim Robinson, is kind of a adrift white collar worker. His wife, Tammy, is recovering from cancer. They're drifting apart, and Austin, played by Paul Rudd, moves in next door, introduces himself to his new neighbors, and invites Craig over for a beer. Tammy accepts on his behalf, and Craig reluctantly goes over there, where he develops a bond with Austin, and that bond results in him becoming a better father, a better husband, and things seem to be going well until Craig is invited over to Austin's hangout with his friends, and an event takes place that kind of puts the friendship in jeopardy, if you will, whereas Austin decides, you know what, I don't think I want to hang out with this guy anymore, which causes Craig's life to completely spiral.
Yeah, it's yeah, they call it cringe. I'm not even sure to be. Listen, if you're gonna cast, if you want to have a cringe comedy film, I really think Tim Robinson is your go-to guy at this point as well. I absolutely love his show. What is it? I Think You Should Leave. Is hilarious, which is on Netflix, and that's like him dialed up to 11 in this film, and it is at times, Matt, deeply uncomfortable, deeply sad, and downright hilarious at times. All I'm going to say is I have not laughed as hard in a film probably since Black Dynamite when he goes on his trip. It's so surreal and funny and clever that, and it's like I'm watching this like at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I'm trying to be quiet, and I'm like gasping for air. I didn't cry like I did with Black Dynamite, but I was quite a few guffaws, and I really, there's a few really good moments like that in this film. But it gets pretty dark, right? It is a black comedy, and it's an outsized kind of, I think, because everything's a little is exaggerated. It's an outsized exploration, I think, generally of our kind of need to be loved and accepted as well, right? And I mean, I think it's fair to say that like this is also a good example of Matt and ours relationship when I'm clearly Tim Robinson's character, just desperate for attention and friendship, and Matt is stringing me along isn't the right word. He is indulging me because I don't have any friends down here in Florida. So
I'm humoring
kind
you.
enough
Is
to
that
keep
what it
doing
is?
the show.
Yeah,
yeah, basically. But there's so many great moments in this too, and I want to say too, I really was happy I was able to enjoy a Paul Rudd performance. I haven't been able to do that in a while because he's been leaning, from what I've seen, too much into being Paul Rudd.
Okay.
Like Death of a Unicorn was it was such a crutch to kind of just lean on Paul Rudd's kind of charm and winking nature, and it just fell flat. Here, it's much more kind of clever and reserved and smart, particularly the very last scene of the film, which I absolutely adored and treasured. But, yeah, I think just it's, for all of its humor, and it is a box full of funny at times, it is terribly sad and cringy and upsetting. The way he treats his wife, played by Kate Mara, like that opening scene when they're in the cancer support group, almost unbearable to watch his reaction to some of the stuff she says.
Right.
And then her reacting to him, you can say like, oh, this marriage is doomed. I don't know, Matt, what'd you think?
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of cringe comedy, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable, secondhand embarrassment while I watch these fictional characters, right? But at the same time, if you're going to do it, Tim Robinson is like the perfect guy to do this, and he makes it just ludicrous and surreal enough where it just takes the edge off ever so slightly that makes it so funny and so watchable that it's like no real person would really act like this, right? I mean, a perfect encapsulation of this is he's in the garage. There's a gathering in his own house, right? And he's sitting at his drum set, and this guy comes looking for the bathroom, right? And the whole thing just starts off, two guys don't really know each other, exchanging, you know, banal pleasantries, right? Where this guy does this whole thing for like 30 to 45 seconds where he's just introducing himself and just talking about drums in the 70s to Tim Robinson's character before just completely going off on what a horrible human being Tim Robinson out of nowhere. And like and then just Tim Robinson just blows his stack off and it's just so absurd that it's hilarious, and it makes it just it allowed me to remove myself just a little bit to where I could really, really enjoy it. It's really surreal.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And so supposedly the writer-director Andrew DeYoung did write this part specifically for Robinson because he knows who he has with that actor, right? You know, he's going to lean right into this, and if anybody can run with it, it's Robinson. And then what makes also the film, I think, so effective is, not just how kind of funny it is at points, but there are times, too, where I had no idea where this film was going.
Right.
Like, I would not have been surprised at all if, like, he ended up killing people in this thing, right? Just snapping and then it's, like, killing people. Like, it's really clever and well done, and it's, as I said, it's very dark and unsettling at times, but it never goes into horror, but you're just constantly kept off balance and there's a sense of unease punctuated with these absolutely hilarious moments. And I just found it to be really successful, and it was a really fun, interesting, weird, bizarre kind of film. And stuff, I just like these this is truly like an indie kind of black comedy, at A24 release. And it's quite good, Matt. It's very quite good. Quite good.
So what are you giving it? What's the grade?
I'm sitting at a B+ right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the edge of whether I want to give this an A- or a B+. I have a feeling that I'm going to repeat viewings is probably going to make this elevate for me, right? And I think a lot of these scenes and some of these phrases are going to get into the kind of subculture of weirdos who like this kind of stuff, that it's going to be all over the place. As much as Tim Robinson already is, right? I mean, you can't even, the dude's everywhere in certain internet circles, but yeah, I'm going to give it a B+ as well.
Yeah. I think part of it is it may be an A-, just I was so uncomfortable. You know, it's one of those things that just sits with you, like, I just don't want to feel like this.
Right,
you know?
right.
But it's just a sign of how effective it is. So if you had a chance to see Friendship, you can rent it online now, and I'm fairly positive it'll be dropping on HBO Max relatively soon, as they have that A24 streaming deal. So there you go, folks. Friendship, that's it. All right, what's up? Oh, Matt. Oh, my God. Oh. So I was putting our list together here, and we made a very big error last week.
We did.
You had, because I didn't mention it, and I was surprised, but I think I played it off where nobody would know that I missed the fact that we had The Ring. I didn't mention The Ring in the 90s. It's because it came out in 2002.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's messed up.
So maybe the original Ringu came out in the 90s, and that's what threw you off. But, 98. So, yeah. Well, I don't think it would have impacted things anyway, because I think we would have... Though it was Audition in The Ring, there would have been then The Sixth Sense and maybe something else. I think we would have landed with Audition in the end as well anyway. So I think it's okay, but that was just a little bit of a faux pas that I think we had to address. So, all right. Now we're going to do the Horror Madness bracket, this time focusing on years 2000 through 2009. Here's one that didn't quite make the cut for me, but maybe it'll be on Matt's list. I just don't think technically it qualified. And I think he's going to agree.
Although no one official is prepared to comment, religious groups are calling it Judgment Day. There's as an increasing number of reports of serious attacks on people who are literally being eaten alive.
A witness reports are sketchy. One unifying detail seems to be that the attackers in many instances appear to be
Dead excited to have with us here a sensational chart-topping
or ideological connection between those committing the atrocities, and perhaps more alarmingly,
there's a girl in the garden.
Their behavior. The emergency
What?
services have been overrun with calls.
In the garden, there is a girl.
The armed forces will be called in to provide backup and assistance. Scientists are still trying to establish the cause.
I don't know what happened. I had edited this clip, but this is not the edited version that is in here.
Oh.
So sorry about that.
Okay, fair enough.
That ran a lot longer than it should have, and it didn't start quite right. So that, of course, is a clip from Shaun of the Dead, a film I enjoy, I adore, but it's not a horror film.
No, I wouldn't even call it a horror
comedy with zombies.
It's just really a comedy first and foremost, but it is a great film.
So I wanted to give it a little bit of love, Matt. So there you go. Why don't you start us off? Give me a bunch of your films that you want to nominate here for our March Madness our Horror Madness bracket. Excuse me, I don't want to get sued.
Okay. All right. So I think I have to go with an all-time favorite of the show, The Descent, which is super scary, which makes my skin crawl with the claustrophobia every single time I watch it. I hate it. I don't know why people go into caves at all. I'm also going to nominate Let the Right One In. I think one of the best vampire movies in the past, 20 years.
I knew you would.
Mm-hmm. What else? I'm going to throw this one out there. I'm kind of curious to have this discussion. I feel like we need some French extreme new wave on there, but is it going to be Martyrs or is it going to be Inside? And I personally would go with Martyrs, but I know you would probably go with Inside.
I would actually go with High Tension out of all three.
Really? Okay. All right.
I think so. I enjoy Inside more than Martyrs, just because Martyrs is so relentlessly nihilistic and horrible. I just don't. I haven't watched it. I bought a region-free Blu-ray of it. Is it from Umbrella? I can't remember who the hell it came out from. But I can't bring myself to watch it again. Though I've watched, and I have the Inside Second Sight Blu-ray. Though I haven't watched that yet.
Mm-hmm.
And High Tension. I love all three, but if I had to choose one out of the three, I probably would go with High Tension.
Okay.
But you want Martyrs, you say?
I think I'm leaning to Martyrs. And I think just because it's so nihilistic and it's such a tough watch is what makes it such a great horror film. And it's very, it sticks with you for sure. And then I think I kind of wasn't sure where to go with these as well. So first, is Jennifer's Body too much of a comedy? Versus?
No, I don't think so, but it's an honorable mention for me. I don't think it should make the list.
Okay.
The final.
And then which of these zombie films should make it in? Or should we have multiple? Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake, which those first 20 minutes are fantastic. 28 Days Later, which kind of introduced the idea of fast zombies. Or Wreck, which is zombies but not really.
So I have Wreck and 28 Days Later on my list, independent of the first 20 minutes. I think the Dawn of the Dead reboot is mostly just okay. Mm-hmm. It's the opening is what makes that film. And then I also have, which I'm surprised Matt it's on your list, is House of the Devil, Ty West.
Yep, I have it on the list.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have. Beyond Let the Right One In, The Descent, I wasn't quite sure where I wanted the rest of the stuff to go.
And I also, all right. So then my general list was Inside, 28 Days Later, House of the Devil, High Tension, Wreck, Battle Royale, The Orphanage, Let the Right One In, Juan, the original Grudge, The Descent, and then Grindhouse.
Yeah, Grindhouse is a good one. Okay. What about the Hills of Eyes remake?
Yeah, I do like that, and it is. I think it's actually better than the original film. So, but I'm. Well, I guess we need to nail down the French extremism,
right?
So, because I don't know if it makes sense to have two films by what's his name if we end up with High Tension.
Sure.
Asia. So we're looking at Martyrs, Inside, and High Tension. Now, High Tension wasn't even... So you do not like that one at all?
No, I mean, I do like High Tension. I just think it's the most straightforward, and I don't know if the conceit really holds together.
I know a lot of people hate the ending of that.
Yeah.
Film, so.
I think it's just tries to be a little too clever by half. So while I do enjoy High Tension, I would probably not make the list for me. It would be an honorable mention.
All right. And Martyrs is the more extreme over Inside. So if you want to go with Martyrs, I guess that's fine with me.
Okay. How generous of you.
I'm a nice guy. That happens. All right. So then we have there. Oh, I should share with this. You can see. We're probably not going to be able to do the video this week because I have some issues. But Matt, let me show you the actual thing here, as you can see what we're dealing with. Okay.
Okay. Did you have Drag Me to Hell on your list?
As an honorable mention.
Okay. So then what are the two other films that you would think that should be there?
So other honorable mentions, we see what you say about these is, first off, do we have to bring The Ring back, or do you want to just keep it in its place?
I think we just keep it in its place. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think I came up with that as just, I Googled 90s, a list of 90s horror movies, and for whatever reason that one came back. I didn't do any due diligence on whether it was that. I guess it would make the list, but I feel like we've already talked about it. I don't think it's going to make it past. I don't think it's going to be a finalist.
All right. So then I also had Paranormal Activity 3, because of that damn oscillating fan. I love that so much, but it doesn't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Session 9 is pretty good. The others, the Nicole Kidman haunted house ghost movies, Land of the Dead, which
yeah,
and then Lake Mungo, the found footage one from what is it, Ireland? I can't remember
now. No, it's Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did I say? Ireland? What the hell's wrong with me? Yeah, Australia. And then I had Jennifer's Body and Pulse, and American Psycho as well.
Yeah. Thirst.
I can't even remember that film right now.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to say no. I can't remember anything about it.
Trick or Treat?
No.
Cloverfield?
No. I don't know. So we got, or what do we got? The Descent, Let the Right One In. We got Martyrs. We can do, well, Rick is Spanish, right?
Yeah.
28 Days Later. House of the Devil. I think we're good with, man, this is tough.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, there's a lot of good films, but I don't think there's a lot of great films.
Where are you then with Grindhouse?
I love Grindhouse, and I really like Death Proof. I think I like Death Proof more than I like Planet Terror, but I struggle to see if it's a horror film, but I do love it. I do think it's...
It is... Yeah, I just like the whole conceit of it. I like the idea of
right.
it. The fact that it even exists makes me happy. But you're right. It probably doesn't deserve to be there. I did put the Hills Have Eyes remake on there.
Okay.
So then we need, I think, one more.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Let me just run through...
Not Battle Royale. You're not a Battle Royale fan? Is that you cannot consider it
I don't really consider it a horror film, right? It seems more like a dystopian sci-fi thing to me, even though it's just like a future thing. All right, so I'm going to rattle up mine off real quick that we don't have on here.
Okay.
The Host, Drag Me to Hell, Dawn of the Dead, The Orphanage, Thirst, Cloverfield, Frailty, Trick or Treat, The Mist, Jennifer's Body, and I guess Inside or High Tension. Now, if I guess there's any overlap for what was on your honorable mentions, what's on the cusp for you? Any of them of yours on the cusp?
It'd probably be either Wreck, Inside, or maybe Dragging Me to Hell, I guess.
Well, Wreck's already on the list, so...
Oh, Wreck is there? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's next to 28 Days Later. I say we put on Inside, because I remember you talking about how much Inside affected you.
Yeah. All right, do you want it to go... All right, so then if we have this... Right now we have The Descent, Let the Right One In, Martyrs, Hills of Eyes remake, Wreck, 28 Days Later, House of the Devil, and Inside. Mm-hmm. Do you want to rejigger these categories at all?
I think we should put Inside up against Martyrs, right? I mean, that's our French New Wave extreme. Yep.
What about The Hills Have Eyes versus The Descent? That seems more...
Sure. Yeah, I think the Let the Right One In versus House of the Devil is probably right. It's more cerebral, indie kind of thing.
All right, and then Wreck in 28 Days Later?
Yeah, as our...
I guess it all works out.
Yeah, our pseudo-zombie films.
Okay.
Where
do you want to start?
Well, let's start at the beginning, as they would say, as Dickens would say, Descent versus The Hills of Eyes.
I would go with The Descent on that one.
Yeah, me too. I mean, The Descent is creepy as all hell. I hate those caves. Like, I hate it so much.
All right, then Martyrs and Inside.
Again, I would go with Martyrs just for the sheer fact of how brutal it is. But Inside it just definitely has some suspense in it.
Yeah. I'll stick with you though with Martyrs still. I mean, because how the film shifts after the first half hour, where you think you're getting one movie and you're getting something else entirely.
Yeah.
All right, then Wreck in 28 Days Later. I think I got to go 28 Days Later with that.
Okay.
Though I do like Wreck, but I think that's the way you got to go with.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then House of the Devil and Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking. This is the original Danish one, right?
Yes, that is the original Swedish one. Yeah, I think it's Swedish. Yeah. Because I don't know. I think Let Me In came out. Although that would be an honorable mention to me because I still think that's a good movie, but I'm not sure what decade that came out in.
2010.
Okay, yeah, so 2010s. As much as I love House of the Devil, don't forget the pizza and like the violence that just comes out of nowhere. I think I gotta go with Let the Right One In for me personally.
I think I agree with you. House of the Devil is so good how Wes is able to recreate that 70s aesthetic and feel. Mm-hmm. You feel it's one of the few times I think I've watched something like that. And you just feel it. You're living it. It is so spot on, perfectly done. And but I think I agree to Let the Right One In. It's just because it's sad and heartwarming weirdly, and then also really unsettling and scary at times, like that pool scene.
Yeah, it's an all-timer.
Yeah. So, all right then. That brings us then to The Descent and Martyrs.
Yeah. I mean, I think Martyrs is probably more, I guess if we're going to use air quotes, important with a capital I think it's more indicative of a genre or a subgenre in horror. But The Descent is just so damn fun. I think I would probably go with Descent personally.
I would too. I thought you were going to go Martyrs for a second there, and I'm like, oh, we're going to have an argument about this. But I agree. I think The Descent is... it bothers me. Because Neil Marshall was really on the upswing, and then I don't know what happened to that cat. Is
he the one who made that, like, post-apocalyptic Scotland Mad Max movie?
Doomsday?
Yeah. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think that was the last thing he did I really, really liked, even though I wasn't as excited about it once we shifted to the Highlands or whatever it was. But, And then 28 Days Later and Let the Right One In.
I probably, having just seen 28 Days Later, I think I'm going to go with Let the Right One In.
Ooh. I don't know if I agree.
No? Did you watch 28 Days Later in advance of 28 Years Later?
I did. I watched that and 28 Weeks Later as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think it's very, very good.
It is very good.
I have not seen Let the Right One in probably since we watched it for the show.
Really? You haven't? Wow, that surprises me.
I remember all the controversy at the time too, when they first released it on Blu-ray. They did new subtitles for it,
okay,
which kind of changed a couple of the scenes in the film.
Yeah.
And they fixed it. They re-released it again like a month or two later because there's so many complaints with the original subtitles.
Okay.
And you had to look on the back to see which subtitle it had before you bought it.
Yeah,
I don't... This bothers me, man. I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not. Because like I said, I've watched it 28 Days Later a few times.
Yeah.
I have not watched Let the Right One In since we saw it for the show.
Yeah. God, that's... I mean... What if this came out in the 2000s? God, has it been like 15 years since you've seen Let the Right One In?
Yeah.
Wow.
So...
It's wild. It's wild to me.
Wild, wacky stuff.
Yeah. So...
Listen, I can't go on forever, so...
Yeah. So my thought process is this. I really love what Boyle does in 28 Days Later and setting up the atmosphere, setting up the, the kind of images that you get and this bit of kind of collapse of what's left and who you can't trust. I always kind of nerded out a little bit on these, like how, they would be the easiest zombies in the world to kill. Like, I don't understand, it would be so easy to kill them all, but I digress. I think it is a tense, suspenseful, little, tight zombie film. But for me, as far as Let the Right One In goes, it's got, oodles of atmosphere. It's got all kinds of levels in it and layers, and it doesn't kind of hold your hand. And it's got depth that I think 28 Days Later just doesn't have.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm going to go with Let the Right One In. I'm going to allow it to happen because for me, in the end, between the two of them or the three remaining films, I'm going with The Descent anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I go with The Descent as well. It gives me a visceral reaction when I watch it.
So I'm surprised by that. I really thought when I first was running these down that I may choose Inside or High Tension, which High Tension I folded on.
Yeah.
And then, or I'd end up with 28 Days Later. I really did. But there it is. Neil Marshall's The Descent, which is I remember watching it with my friend Terry. Went to the movie theater to see it. And walked out of it, and we were like, holy shit.
So, when was the last time you saw The Descent?
That probably about 6 years ago, I think. I watched the Blu-ray I have of it. I haven't watched it in a while.
So, my homework to you is, before we come back next week, we can revisit this briefly. You should watch both of those films, and then we can rediscuss whether it should be 28 Days Later, Let the Right One In, or Descent.
Okay. I can put my Andor watch on hold. You know what I do too? Because everything's so desolate and bleak. They had a sale. 99 episodes of Mystery Science Theater for $50 on iTunes.
Oh, wow. Really? Oh, man. I missed that.
More than half of them, I didn't even have on DVD.
Wow.
It was like a bunch of the most recent season that I didn't see. And then a bunch of them that are only available as singles. And I'm like, it's my birthday, and I've been slowly kind of trying to burn my DVDs so I can just have them. And I'm like, I'm going to be lazy and treat myself for my birthday and just buy this set. So now I have and a lot of good ones in there. Final Sacrifice is in there. Like Mitchell's not there,
right?
But there are a lot of good ones in there. Like a lot of good ones that are in the set. And like I said, a bunch of them that I don't have it on DVD yet. I think I only have like 10 or 12 of the box sets that came out. They were doing 4 episodes per set.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about that. But I'll have to put that watch on hold too. So
it'll always be
we'll
there
get
for
it done.
You. It'll always be there for you.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I was a little nervous because sometimes those license rights gets a little tricky.
Yeah, right.
With Mystery Science Theater episodes. So.
Yeah, fair.
But all right. There you go, folks. What would you rank as your favorite horror film between 2000 and 2009? Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Matt, next week, what's coming up on the big show? Is it potentially my most anticipated film of 2025?
I think it is. It's a big one, Chris. It is James Gunn's Superman, where we kick off the DCU proper. You know, I've heard, I've stayed away from it as much as I possibly can, but I've heard mixed things, so we'll see. I hope they're wrong.
Do you want to know the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Sure.
139 reviews, 87%.
Good.
So, I like the suit. I like Corn Sweat. I've been. It's one of those when I've been trying to avoid everything about it. I can, but then if something shows up, I have to watch it. I don't know what it is, and I've built this up so much in my head that am I finally going to get the Superman film that I've wanted for the past 20 years? Am I finally going to get it? So I'm hoping I am. So we'll find that next week. I got my ticket for Saturday morning in the IMAX, Matt, 10:30 a.m.
Wow, look at you.
So I was going to go Dolby, but they did shoot with IMAX cameras, so I want to get the full image. And then if it's good, I'll go see it in Dolby, maybe, and take Mrs. First Run. She's actually interested in it, too. So, yeah, because she wants something hopeful and fun, and she loves crypto. So, there you go. In the meantime, check us out at thefirstrun.com. You can find archives of all the old shows. The report card is there. There's a little player. You can just start streaming episodes right there as you go. Also, we're on Instagram and we're still on Facebook, I think so. And then Blue Sky, just search for The First Run. YouTube, and scroll. Eventually you'll find us. Head over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. It'll help other people find the show as well. And that is it. We're going to take an extended break. Sic Semper Tyrannis. We love you all very much. We'll see you next week.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.